Hey guys, what's up? Sofie here, and I wanted to take a video to answer one question that I get the most from Instagram, and I wanted to do a YouTube video explaining things a little bit more in depth to kind of help you guys that are entering the barbering industry and want some advice and what direction you're going. For those of you who don't know me, most people that have followed me over from this platform, from Instagram, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. But a little bit about me is that I started off cutting hair just in a shop like most people do, and I've been able to now take that and be able to travel all over the world teaching and educating on men's hair and just my theory and experiences on things that I've learned that has helped me kind of elevate to where I am today. The purpose of creating YouTube was to kind of go more in depth on the things that I've learned over the last 10 years and being able to share that with you guys. And I think the importance of having these kind of platforms is that we are always trying to help evolve the industry, the things that I wish someone would have told me when I first started, and with the tools that we have available today, I do believe that you can do so much of these things in half the time that it took me to understand it. So I wanted to kind of contribute my part. So let's get to the top 10 things that I think are really important. The first one is be a sponge. Learn everything that you can. The more diverse you are, the better it is to market everything that you do. Don't stick to one thing. That is something I even did in the beginning, is that I was able to not only just do one style of haircut, but I was really open to trying different things. So now, especially with tools like Instagram and YouTube, you're seeing a lot of different styles through just your phone and not having to travel elsewhere to kind of find these kind of inspirations. And I would see the things that I would want to try and find people to do that on. Number two, you're going to have to do a lot of haircuts. This is part of the process. Think of being able to do 10,000 hours. Not that you're going to master it, but you're going to be a lot more comfortable with doing haircuts. For me, I came from a stylist background, as some of you may know. So in beauty school, we did not learn much about clipper cutting and all that kind of stuff. So the more I invested into doing them as often as I could, the better you get at what you're doing. Number three, building a clientele, right? Utilize what's available. At the time, I was using Yelp. I was using any of the shops that I worked at. I found their Yelp. I would blow it up with all my work, with how to contact me. I believe Yelp, at least for California, this is something we use a lot in reviews for restaurants, places. And then you have tools like Instagram that also are now like as a search engine to find barbers and hairstylists in your area. And when you're building clientele and you want to try new haircuts, don't be afraid to ask random people that you would meet on the road. So if I go to a restaurant, I see a shortcut that I like, I'm gonna ask them, hey, by the way, it doesn't have to be anything awkward. It's like, hey, I do hair. If you ever wanted to give me a try, here's my business card or here's my Instagram. Leave them with something that you can use to kind of market yourself on the spot. And then if they do hit you up later, then it's a really cool way to kind of build like these organic relationships throughout your everyday life. So that's kind of helped me even till today. I do this every now and then as well to find different looks that I want to try that maybe my regular clientele wouldn't ask for. And this was a way for me to build on new styles that I haven't attempted yet. Number four, post your work. I know a lot of times this is a scary place because you're like, it's not that good. But the idea is that you're putting it out there and maybe you don't say like, hey, this is my best work, and you talk about it like, hey, this is something I'm still learning. And then your people that are watching it are not going to judge you as much because they know that you're still learning. So I think it's also really important because you're putting yourself out there. You're letting people know that you are currently still learning, and that's nothing to be ashamed of because it's a process. You can't go from level 1 to level 10. You just can't skip steps. You have to allow yourself to go through each step so that you can appreciate the next one. And posting your work, when I used to post my work in the beginning, you develop a different eye as you do it more often. So using tools like a camera or even your iPhone, just something outside of just your eyes, you're able to pick up these new details in your haircuts that you might not have always seen before. And then as I'm using those tools more often, I'm able to catch those things in real time, and then I'm able to almost edit on the spot because now I can see the shadows. Now I can see the different densities. That would be my advice, is post your work. Don't be afraid. If you feel better about saying that it's something you're learning, then just talk about it. I think that is a way for you to organically build your platforms anyways, is that you are honest about where you are. Number 5, use different platforms. At the time when I first started, I was using Instagram as a way to build my portfolio. I had a hard time building clientele, so I created Instagram to use as a way to showcase my work within a few seconds versus begging people to sit in my chair and that they should trust me just because. This was like, hey, before you say yes or no, this is a picture of my work. Go ahead and look at it. And if you like what you see, then let's continue on and get you in the slot. And this was a way for me to avoid a lot of awkward situations to where people felt like, okay, who's this random person asking me if I want to cut their hair? Do they even trust me? That kind of stuff. So this is going to eliminate all that weird awkwardness in the middle. And I started using Facebook. I started using recently YouTube now because I want to be able to share this stuff with you guys because I think it's really useful information for a lot of people coming into the industry. Number 6, network. This is a tool that can work in really, really amazing ways. And when I say network, I don't mean like you're intruding into people's lives and trying to like go have lunch and you don't even know them, like keep it really organic because I think that's the way that works best. This kind of goes into my number 7, which is attend shows, go to seminars. There's a lot of different things that you don't always learn when you're just cooped up in a shop. I remember when I was first in the first shop that I worked at, I was only around by, everyone that came in to work every day. There was no outside like knowledge or influence or anything like that I didn't know about. And this is when I was new. So I really didn't know what else was out there. All I knew was like, you just cut hair in a shop and that was it. And when I started attending shows and hearing people's stories, it started to kind of like open my eyes that, wow, there's actually other outlets and avenues that you can take cutting hair towards that maybe is not normal for people to understand or hear, because even when I was telling my mom that I wanted to pursue hair, she didn't understand that world. She thought that it was just these little hole in the walls that you'd work at for your whole life, and that was it. And until I started attending shows and hearing how people were packaging different services, it just expanded my mind to so many more ideas that I could use those type of ideas and apply them to myself and make it my own and kind of come up with something that was going to work for me and be a little bit better for the kind of custom schedule or whatever service packaging that I wanted to create for myself. Number 8, research. Anything I didn't know, I would research. I would Google search, YouTube Academy. I mean, you can learn anything you want at this point. Any topic in the world, you can find an entire video. I mean, lots of videos on just how to do that or how to understand something, how to use something. There's just so much more available. I remember when I first even was learning how to do haircuts, I was looking on YouTube and there was probably like a few accounts at the time that even had videos that I could reference. And I just remember using one particular taper video that I would watch literally over and over again as I'm cutting to kind of follow along and try to learn. But now there is so much available, not even just on my channel, but all the people that I've been seeing recently on YouTube that are barbers, that are putting out really, really great work. You can find so much on there. So do the research and just watch a lot of things. We live in the best time. There is so much available to us that we didn't always have. So if there's anything you want to learn, there is lessons and lessons and lessons on that. Number 9, tool knowledge. This is something new that I didn't fully understand until about maybe 5 or 6 years in. And then also working with Barbers Pro, I've been able to really utilize how to understand tools and how to make them fit better for what I'm doing. So in the first couple of years when I was testing out different clippers, some of you may know I love technology, so that is something I've always been intrigued with. Versus just having one clipper and one trimmer, I was like, no, like what does this do? What does that do? Why does it have a longer stretch blade? Why is this battery life better? Why is this corded? Why is it making this weird sound? Like there's just so many things that unfortunately beauty school or any kind of school doesn't really go over. You get what you get in your kit, and that's usually the tools that they set you off when you are finished with school and you're going into the field, right? You just have what they've been given you. And until you actually go and research and talk to people about the different tools, then you will then gain the knowledge that you need. I will do another video on tool knowledge to kind of go over different specs. So look forward to that. Number 10, One of the most really important ones is to be consistent. Whatever it is that you're doing, all the things that I've already listed, be consistent in your work, because if you're not consistent, you're gonna feel like everything is just a slow process. You know, in order for us to gain what we want to build, and that could be your social media, that could be just your clientele, is that you have to be consistent. You have to be able to put energy into what you're doing so that you can see those things keep coming back. Without that momentum building, you're gonna get a super slow exchange. So being able to feed it as much as possible, especially when you're trying to like learn for the first time. Like I go full force into what I'm doing because I want to understand it. And the more you're consistent, you're feeding that creativity, you're feeding that flow, you're getting into a rhythm that is going to really just kind of help you really grow and elevate. And it's the same thing that I'm applying myself to, even with doing the stuff that I'm doing now. Is like, if I'm trying to learn camera technology, I'm going to go full force into just shooting more often, making videos more often, because that's gonna, at the end, help me kind of understand and get into a better flow of creativity. If you take too many breaks, it's really hard. Be consistent with posting. It's the same thing with like Instagram, and we'll do another video on that as well. So those are probably my top 10 things that if you are entering the industry, if you can do 10 of those things, or at least be aware of these things, they will help guide you into a better direction of where you're trying to head towards. You know, you don't have to know exactly where you're going to end up. You just got to know that you're going to make that effort every single day to work towards a place that you'll get to. I mean, for me personally, I didn't know that this journey was going to take me to this point. The only thing I focused on was that I was going to make an effort to just make my haircuts better. So the next time that happens, it got me a different clientele. And everything just kind of evolves over time. So just don't be afraid that you need to create this perfectly big, nice big step in order for you to be successful. All you need to do is know that each and every day that you're able to make that effort so that you can figure out what direction you're heading. You just need to do every day. You know, if you want to be a really great barber, what does that mean? Do haircuts every day until you feel like you're getting some traction. But doing it here and there is not going to help you. And that's what I mean by being consistent, is that you have to do a lot of it so that you can truly maximize the results and getting everything that you want. It's all going to be based on consistency and your discipline to make sure that happens each and every day. So if you want to be a YouTuber, you got to do it a lot. It's kind of the same thing. It applies the exact same way. Whatever it is you want to be good at, do that the most, because what you put your energy into is what's going to grow. So those are my top 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and I hope this helps you. For any of the new barbers that are watching this, you know, just focus, follow these 10 steps. If you guys get a chance, leave some comments below and let me know if this video kind of breaks down a little bit more clarity for you guys and is helpful. And if you think it is useful, please go ahead and share this with your friends as well. You know, my goal is to constantly educate and help you guys with anything that you may need, barbering related, life related. Everything is coming this year. So thank you guys for supporting everything that I do. If you guys are from Instagram, I appreciate you. And if you guys are new and watching this for the first time, there's a lot more stuff coming. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.